Ashley. I'm 21. I'm from Muskegon, Michigan, and I have a 1-year-old daughter.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I was the innocent girl growing up.
Hi, I'm Monica. I'm 21. I'm from Grant, Michigan, and I was a teen mom.
Hi, I'm Sabrina. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Traverse City, Michigan, and I got my first relationship at the age of 13.
Hi, my name is Jenna. I'm 24 years old, and I'm from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I was adopted from Korea when I was a baby.
Hi, I'm Ivy. I'm 20 years old from Traverse City, Michigan, and I became a mom my freshman year in college.
We are all social work students at Ferris State University, and this video was created as a community intervention project for Social Work 320. We wanted to create something for young girls to go to and instill confidence in themselves and understand that healthy discussions about these topics are very important, and there's nothing to feel ashamed or embarrassed about when it comes to these topics. So without further ado, here is our video.
Did you guys see what Donald Trump said to this woman on CNN about women having their periods?
No.
He's basically shaming like women everywhere for having a period. He said you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes because like she was getting frustrated at like the topic they were talking about.
Yeah.
So of course she has to be on her period, right? Like that's
People are just ignorant. I don't know why we have to like shame periods in this. I don't understand. Like it's a womanly thing. Like why do we have to like shut it down like it's a like gross like nasty thing?
I think our social history has a lot to do with it. Just women's bodies in general, you know, like they always try and make us feel like there's something dirty or perverted or gross about, you know, having our period, when really, without it, life would not exist.
I agree.
Right, and I mean, like, when I was 13, you know, I didn't really understand the concept of what was happening, and then, you know, my mom sat me down, I read some books, talked to some friends, and then finally it was just something that happened every month and that everyone gets, and then that whole hysteria, I guess, was gone, you know, like, I was just a girl with a period now.
Right? I would like hide my tampons in my pencil case and then like sneak them out of the classroom and like lie as to where I was going. So I didn't want my guy friends knowing that like I was like using tampons or like how
But that's the thing though, like guys should be educated too about girls.
Yeah.
It's not fair that we have to, you know, go behind the scenes to try to, you know, keep our hygiene and keep ourselves clean. Like they should understand that this is something we have to do, and eventually it leads to reproduction, and that's life. And
Like it should be more convenient for us to be open about it than for us to hide it for the convenience of men.
I
exactly.
agree.
Like, I remember my mom telling me all about what to expect from my period when I was like 10, and I ended up getting mine when I was like 12 years old. So I got mine pretty early in life, and like, I remember, you know, she sat me down and she explained to me like the difference between using tampons and using pads, and the like benefits, like the health benefits or cons for both.
Right.
You know, and I feel like every woman should be educated about that. And like even now, like we have diva cups and stuff, so you don't have to use either or if you would rather do that, which
I just feel like younger girls need to know that like it's okay. Like it is like a human thing. We shouldn't be embarrassed. Like it is embarrassing when you're young, but like don't be embarrassed about it. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. And the sooner we like get over that, it'll be easier.
Definitely. But like how do we get over it, you know?
I feel like the best solution is education, you know?
Yeah, and even to bounce off that, like, I think I was reading something once where girls felt more, like, comfortable and more respectful in their own bodies when they actually talked into a trusted adult, like a mother, a sister, an aunt, and they asked questions, because who better knows about a period or a menstrual cycle than a woman who's been going through it for 15, 20
Exactly.
years.
Exactly.
And so, you know, by starting that conversation, whether it's the mother, sister, aunt, or the girl herself, you know, just sitting down and talking about it and asking questions.
Yeah,
that's probably a good solution.
That's good.
And I mean, the harsh reality is like around the world, less than 20% of women actually have access to safe, quality sanitary products. So in a country where we can mostly afford them, I think it's ridiculous that we're still shaming people about stuff like that. I mean, it's just taking care of yourself like any other part of your body, like taking a run every day. It's the same thing.
Right.
Menstruation is socially constructed as a problem, something shameful and dirty, when in reality it's something women do not have control over. Therefore, there's no reason to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's normal.
Hey Ashley, how long have you and Trey been together?
It'd be like 7 years in March.
Really? So what, were you like 15, 16 when you got together?
Yep, I was 15.
Wow. I remember the guy that I was dating when I was 15. And I thought that we would still be together today when I was that age, but we ended up breaking up that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's so weird because when you're going through it, you're like, you know, there's no way this could end. Like, your love is so real. And then you look back at it and the emotions were real, but, you know, you had no concept of what your future was really going to look like.
And it does not help that like the adults in your life, like most adults do not take those relationships seriously. And they don't think that the feelings you have are real, and you know, they think you're just young and naive and you'll grow out of it, but they don't understand that like when you're in that moment, in that situation, like it's extremely real. And like when you go through a fight or like a breakup, like you're really vulnerable and like it can really like upset you, and you need somebody there for support, and it's hard to find when those adults don't even think it's a real issue.
Somebody to take you seriously and to acknowledge that, yeah, like you said, that your feelings are deep and serious and not a joke just because you're young.
But I didn't get support from my mom until like years later in the relationship. Like you guys are saying, like they don't take you seriously. My mom didn't take me seriously for, like I said, a long time. She said, just like you guys are saying, like this is just like a phase that you're going through. Like he'll break up with you just like the other guys did. And then you'll be like heartbroken again. So like she was just like, you know, you guys' mom and stuff. So like, I don't know, like she's just like, you know, the rest of you guys. So
It's interesting. It's like the older you get, do you forget, you know, or what is that? Because when you're going through it, you know, you definitely understand that it's real. So,
and it's not even just with like relationships like boyfriend girlfriend. It's like friendships too. Like when I was in 5th grade, I had a really close friend. We hung out every day. Like we would always hang out after school. We were like inseparable in school, and we got in trouble one day, and it was over something stupid, and we got suspended or whatever, and her mom was like, I don't want you hanging out with Ivy anymore, like she's a bad influence. And it tore us up. Like we were devastated. She even made it so like the teachers and principals wouldn't allow us to hang out in school, couldn't see each other after school. Like we went from nonstop always being together to like not even being able to talk. And it was just like, it was heartbreaking because she didn't realize what she was doing. She just thought we were young, dumb kids, and it didn't even matter. Like,
right, like nobody was there to acknowledge that, like, yes, you're young and you can make mistakes, but we understand that you really care about the people that are around you and in your life right now, even if you are young.
And I had a best friend like that too. Like my sisters and my mom are like, she's not your friend for real. Like they didn't realize like that was really my best friend. Like we really cared about each other. They're just thinking about how their friends were, how, you know, how they thought about her. They didn't think about how we looked at each other. They just thought about their opinion on her, not our feelings for one another. And that really like hurt us that we couldn't like talk to each other outside of school. Like I only could talk to her at school, which really wasn't fair to us.
Right. It's interesting though, because, you know, being in my mid-20s now, I look back at that time and I can still, you know, picture myself in those shoes and remember the feelings I had. And, you know, I kind of lived my life using those as, you know, tools to guide me for the decisions that I make now.
And I'll use those, like you said, and I will try my hardest not, you know, to do that to my children as I go older, and I'll use that, like I said, and not do that.
Many adults dismiss teen relationships as being superficial and shallow, but the fact is that while you're going through these relationships, they feel very real and they are serious. So if you're having trouble coping due to one of your peer relationships, make sure you reach out and let somebody know how you're feeling.
I think tampon and pad commercials are hilarious because they make it seem like being on your period is this like amazing experience, and like in the video the girls have their hair like all blown out and the wind's blowing and they're, you know, doing their thing, and it's like when you're on your period you feel like crap. Like I do not look like that.
I know, they make it seem like periods are just the most wonderful thing ever. Then those like Flex Foam pad commercials, they have it like your pants move with the pad, like they make it like your pants and your pad are one, like they just flex together.
You're just going with
yeah,
it.
they make it seem like periods are magical, like you have the best time, and that is not how, you know, periods go. Like, what do you do when you're on your period to help you feel better?
Well, I usually have really bad cramps, but more than cramps, I break out really bad. So I like to use face masks. Like, I just get like cheap ones from like the drugstore, and I put them on, and then I like draw a hot bath, and I get these like color tablets and some bath soap, and like just lay in the bath and relax, and the face mask will like help my skin kind of calm down, and I feel better.
Right. For mine, I usually like take like Midol or ibuprofen or something, because I get like really bad cramps too. And like I like to take hot baths too, because I get like chills too. I get like really bad chills, so I'll take like hot baths at nighttime. But like other than that, like I don't really like do much else besides that. So
I find also like drinking like warm drinks, like tea usually makes me feel better, like sometimes coffee. I don't know, I think it's just important to like try different things, because I used to never take baths until my friend mentioned she used a heating pad. But I don't really like the heating pad, so I was like, okay, I'll try a bath. And now I'm like, take a bath like every day of my period.
right, I never tried the tea thing though. That's probably like a good idea. And that's good that you mentioned that to me, because now I can try it. It's good to like expand like what you try.
Exactly, and also like when you're on your period, you want to eat like chocolate 24/7 and really unhealthy foods. And when I drink tea, I feel like I'm like cleansing myself, you know, I feel good, and it makes me not want to like binge into like candy.
A lot of my friends eat chocolate. I don't really like chocolate like that, but a lot of my friends do.
I think like, you know, knowing what snacks you like on your period, but remembering to like eat healthy snacks too, because it's easy to like just eat junk food all week, and eating like junk food and chocolate and all that when you're like on your period, it also makes you feel worse because you're eating like so much sugar and like bad foods.
It make you feel like worse than what you really are.
Exactly. So like actually like intentionally eating healthy foods while you're on your period makes you feel better too, and not like exercising.
Yeah,
I mean,
one of my friends, like she works out like more than she normally would when she's on her period too.
Yeah, I don't know, I think it's good. I think every girl should try different methods to make her feel better.
To figure out like which one works best for her. That's
Definitely.
a really good idea to, like I said, to figure out what works best for her than to try sticking to the one method.
Exactly, because everyone's body is different.
Right.
Feminine hygiene commercials tend to make the girls look like they're super comfortable and happy and their hair and makeup is perfect. But the fact of the matter is, that time of the month can be extremely uncomfortable for most women. The good news is there are different things that you can do to make it a little bit less miserable, whether it be eating a certain comfort food or using a heating pad or even just taking Midol or something. So basically you just have to try different things and different methods until you find something that works best for you.
Okay, I will. Yes. Okay, love you. Yeah, Mom, stop. I really need to go. Okay, love you. Bye.
What was that about?
Oh, you guys, okay. My family's going on this like vacation. It's not that big of a deal, but we're going to a hotel this weekend, and they have this like water park in the hotel, and I'm on my freaking period. And maybe this is embarrassing, but I don't know if I can swim on my period.
Dude, you can totally swim on your period.
But
Like, do you
it'll
use-
like go. You know what I mean? Like
No, like, do you use tampons or pads?
I use tampons, like and both. I mean,
Well, swimming with a pad, like, as you can imagine, isn't the best idea. Like,
It's not really.
I mean, it's an absorbent sanitary napkin. So the
Yeah.
minute you get into the pool with a pad, bad news.
yeah.
It's not gonna do its purpose, and it's gonna look obvious.
But you could. Doesn't the tampon do the same thing? Like
No, if you insert a tampon correctly and go swimming, then there's no reason that it should be uncomfortable or obvious or anything. The worst thing that can happen is your string might fall out of your bathing suit.
Oh,
But
man.
it happens. I mean, it happens.
So I can like just put it in before I go swimming, swim, and I'll like be okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, like, you know, the most hygienic solution to that is change it right before you go into the pool, and then change it right when you get out if possible.
Okay. That should be good.
Yeah, I mean, there should be no reason that you should have anything to worry about as long as you insert it properly. So if you do choose to go swimming and you use a tampon, Just make sure you use the proper size. I know in the past I've chosen super when I should have chosen a regular.
Yeah, and it does matter, believe it or not, because that's when it can get uncomfortable and kind of absorb some of the water and not feel very good. So, okay.
A lot of
Yay.
information, but
You
you'll learn.
guys saved my trip to the water park.
I would say just don't worry about it. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. Just go about your life the way that you always would.
Okay, thank you.
It's definitely okay to go swimming on your period. It's recommended that you use a tampon because they're discreet and more sanitary than a pad. If you choose to go swimming, it's best to know what tampon fits your body best and to make sure that you check it periodically.
Guys, I feel so bad for my niece. Her boyfriend just broke up with her because she won't have sex with him.
Really? How old is she?
She's 13. He's like a little older than her, but still, like she's been crying like every day, and she won't stop crying.
Grade is 13.
That's like I think she's in the 8th grade. I'm not really sure.
They're
But-
so young still.
Yeah, they're still so young, and she's just like total wreck. She won't stop crying. She won't leave her room. She just like called me up there and was like, "Aunt, he broke up with me," and she's just like crying. I was like, "Well, what happened?" And she was like, "Well, he asked me to have sex, and I told him no, I wasn't ready, but he said everyone else was. He'll just go find a different one."
No way. When I was in middle school, everyone was not having sex.
Not when I was either. Like, I mean, there may have been a couple girls, but not like the whole school.
I got excited because Tyler Piper held my hand.
I mean,
That
yeah,
was
like small
8th
stuff
grade.
like that,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like having sex like nothing.
Well, I had my
else.
first
Cool.
kiss in 8th grade. Literally like a peck. It was 2 seconds.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I probably did have my. I think I was in 7th grade when I had my first kiss.
I was kind of young when I had my first kiss, but you know, it took a long time before I.
I was still nervous about a kiss, let alone having sex.
Oh my gosh, I felt like I was such a cool kid when I got home. Like, I'm not telling my mom.
When I finally did like lose my virginity, I was 15 years old, and like the next day, like I felt like happy about it because I thought that it was something more than what it was. But like after, like I really did find out like the guy didn't really like me. He just used me for that. Like I felt like the stupidest person in the world. Like I felt so dumb.
Yeah, I lost my virginity when I was a junior in high school, and I thought the guy was like awesome, and like I thought it was gonna be great, and we were gonna be together, and he was like the guy for me. And of course, I was wrong. I was just thought I knew everything, but I didn't know anything. And the next day, I like laid in bed and cried all day because I just felt really stupid.
That's how I was like after like I figured out that like I wasn't the only girl that he was talking to. I was his only girlfriend. Like that's how I was like after that. Like I just cried and cried and cried. Like I felt so dumb.
See, I was 15, but we stayed together for a couple months after that. And I guess what I didn't realize, like it wasn't like an instant breakup, and he was really like loyal and faithful, and he's like, "You are the one, I love you, we're getting married." And you know, obviously I believed him. And then I started noticing that he was just being really controlling and call me in the morning and tell me what you're gonna wear for school, kind of thing. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear my cute cherry sweater. And I just didn't even recognize it as being
Right.
like kind of really controlling. And so then when we did break up, I didn't want to tell anybody I lost my virginity. I was like, nobody's gonna want me now, this is horrible. So I made the mistake of telling my cheerleaders. And they told everybody. And then he denied it to the entire school. So then he's like, I don't have sex with her.
So then that
And
made
so then the
you
entire school thought
like
I
you just
was
made that up.
just crazy and that I just couldn't get over him.
It sucks how stuff like that can like ruin your reputation so
Right.
quickly in school. And everybody will like make quick judgments when they don't even really know the real story.
Right, and just like how that guy broke up with my niece, like when I was in middle school, excuse me, like if a girl didn't want to have sex, or you know there was those few that didn't, people would like pick with those girls or like call them scary. Like I was actually one of those girls that got called scary in middle school because I didn't want to have sex. So some girls do feel bad or feel pressured to have sex because of what their friends or the people at school will say about them. So sometimes they like go under pressure and do things that they don't want to do.
That puppy love too.
Yep.
The guy saying, "I'll be there forever."
They just fall,
And
you know,
they're
fall
not.
for those things, and
Yeah.
they're
I
not
don't
always true.
I guess I just remember high school being, it was really emotional for me because everybody else was able to have a boyfriend. Don't think they were having sex. The most I heard was that Jesse made out with 2 girls in the bathroom. And that was about as far as I got. And then, but everybody else had a boyfriend, and I was really unattractive in middle school. I had a really short haircut where you could spike it in the back. Bad choice. And so I guess I just felt like at that point if somebody was like, let's have sex, I think I almost would have just because I was so like,
Yeah.
ugly.
It's
And I'm glad I did, and I'm glad nobody asked. 'Cause
If you felt like that, I'm probably sure that you weren't the only girl
Right.
that felt like that, and you're probably still not the only girl that felt like that. There's probably millions of girls out there like that right now that
especially
still
if it's
does
an
feel
older
like that.
boy like your niece. You got
Right.
that older boy giving you attention.
And that's how I was.
Yeah.
Like I was a freshman and he was a senior on the football team. Like I'm sure there's still plenty of girls out there right now that's just like that.
And middle school and like those years are like for me it was the most awkward time of my life. Like I just like I was still getting used to my body growing and stuff, you know, and like I just felt awkward all the time. I felt like I looked awkward, and yeah, like the same thing. If I got attention from a guy, especially an older guy, I'd be like, hell yeah, like
I'm so pretty.
yeah. But
I don't know. I guess I just
Right.
I was not developing in high school, as we can tell, or middle school. I don't know. It's hard to believe that middle schoolers would be having sex regularly. I don't think that's.
I don't think so.
It's just, yeah, like you said, it's kind of hard to like understand that the whole school is, you know, having sex when it really wasn't that way. Like I said, there were a few that were doing that when I was in middle school, but like to get broken up with because of you won't have sex is like really crazy.
The fact of the matter is, not everyone's having sex, but many people feel pressure to do so. If you feel like you're ready, talk to someone about it. It's important to understand your choice before you make it.
So you still run. What do you do when you get your period? Like what about your cramps and stuff?
Actually, I read an article that running and having cramps actually reduces your actual intensity of the cramps. So a lot of times when I'm like, I can't get out of bed, I force myself to go out for a run, and a lot of times I'll come back feeling a lot better. For some reason, it just, you know, it makes me feel good. I stretch out. That doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone,
Right.
but you know, that's the thing I like to do is just, you know, take time out, do a little run to stretch, eat healthy, and normally I'm good to go by then.
Because I know when I was in gymnastics, it was such a, like, it was so annoying when I woke up knowing that I had gymnastics that night and being like, wow, I started my period. And I just feel like there was just so much that I had to, you know, figure out, like, what worked for me and how to handle it. And I feel like there was a lot of mistakes that I made, you know, like not bringing enough pads or tampons and not wearing loose shorts. And I just feel like it really took a long time to get used to like what I needed and what my body needed.
I understand what you mean, because a lot of the times I'll just be like, I don't want to go, I don't want to do it today. And until I actually went for that first run during the time I had my period, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I could feel so much better from actually more activity. Some people it's no activity, some people it's more activity, some people it's eating bananas. You kind of have to find your niche for that month.
Because I was in a lot of sports in high school. Did you do cross country?
Actually, no, I was a sprinter, but it was hard to be a sprinter too when you had cramps because you just kind of felt weighted
Right.
down. So, it was kind of, sometimes I even used a heating pad, you know, just that extra warmth felt good.
See, I was a hurdler, and so I felt like every time I jumped, it just felt so weird. So I'm like, what if, you know, this happens? And Then in gymnastics, you're constantly upside down and you're just moving in weird, flexible like ways, and it's just, it was really hard to, you know, figure out and feel comfortable doing sports while on my period.
Yeah, you just gotta kind of figure it out and not push your limits. A lot of
See what
girls
works best for
think
your body.
they can
Yeah.
do stuff, but they can't. You just gotta know that, okay, this works, this doesn't. I'm gonna keep trying to find things out, talk to what my friends are doing, and find out what works best.
You can definitely play sports while being on your period. You can try different methods to see which one works best for you. Playing sports while on your period doesn't always have to be difficult.
Thank you guys so much for watching our video. We encourage you to share it, comment, like, subscribe. We really want to get this video out there as that is what the intervention relies on. So feel free to share the video. We would love to see where it goes. Thanks for watching.